and Allah opens up that path for you to become him, because you're working on yourself. Islam's the highest level of self-development. Back in business, back in the game. Right, Assalamu alaikum. Sat in the hotel lobby right now, and I wanted to come on here and talk about the fact that I've just done 2 Umrahs. So I'm in Mecca, and this is my 3rd time coming here within the past year. Before that, I was heavily misguided. I was heavily away from Islam until about 2023, so 2 years ago. Then I started praying more frequently. I held my first Ramadan, and before that I was on so much misguidance and really just throwing my life down the gutter. So many vices, so the way I treated people was terrible, and I just had no morality, no moral standing. Just wanted to fit into the path that all of the people around me that were living, like all the white English people in my hometown. I thought it was cool to go out to the clubs, go out to drink, go out to party, and I thought that was life. Until about 2 years ago, when I decided that I had to start taking my success seriously. I was finishing university, and it was time for me to lock in. It was time for me to make a difference in the world and start painting out the vision of who I need to be for the future. So I started multiple businesses in that time. I started like trading, tried Forex, I tried e-commerce, I tried video editing, I tried personal brand. None of them worked. And then I started a door-to-door sales agency, scaled that up to 7 figures in revenue. Over the past 8 months in personal income, I've been taking home 10 to 15k a month. And now that's slowing down because I've stopped working on it. I've closed the agency down, and I want to give it my all for social media and helping others go through the same transformations that I've gone through. So it's my 3rd time in Mecca for the last year, and the first time I came, I was coming off the back of running my sales agency, and I was still praying. I still was Muslim, but I was sinning a lot. I was drowning in my sins, and I didn't have that sweetness of faith. Like, I never cried in prayer, I never read the Quran. I forgot how to read the Quran. Like, I read it when I was a kid, and then I never went back into it, and just kind of completely forgot about it. So that Umrah really opened my heart. We went with a guided group, we went with our local masjid, and that was probably one of the most formative trips of my life over the past year or so, because it taught me what Islam is. It taught me that Islam is love, guidance, and it taught me to love Allah rather than just fear him, because a lot of the time we're taught just to fear Allah and worry about the Day of Judgment and all these kind of things, but we don't really understand who Allah is. We don't understand all the bounties and all the things he can give us. And like, we pray to him, sure, but how sure are we that, like, our prayer, we're praying properly? How certain are we that the things that we ask for, Allah's going to give us them? Because until that last Umrah, I didn't even know. I wasn't that certain. Like, I made dua for things before in my life, and they came true. But I didn't know Allah, and I didn't know myself. I was working 18-hour days on my business. I was just chasing money, chasing the world. I always used to keep this door open in my mind of like, oh, well, when I get money, I can go to the club and I can get this girl, and if I commit zina, it's not that bad. Astaghfirullah. Like, these are things I'd never consider now. But I had to go through that kind of taste of success, or starting to see progress in my life, and then conflicting that with Islam. I had to go through all of that to realize it would never fulfill me. So I came in with that kind of mindset, and I didn't know Allah. And then as soon as I saw the Kaaba, it was like, boom. It's like I was naked in front of Allah. It's like he could see through me, and he can always see through us, but it's like everything that I've ever done was laid out on the table in front of me. And I was just like, I've never cried Islamically before that, really, apart from when I was at a breaking point. That was more of a personal thing, but it felt like I was standing in front of Allah and he's judging me. So I'm looking up, and I can hear my cousin behind me. He starts crying, and I just break down. I'm like, I'm sorry, ya Rab. Yeah, Rab is like the sweetest word when you're describing your Lord. I've never used that in my life, But when I was in front of the Kaaba last year, boom, Ya Rabbi, please forgive me, bursting into tears, thinking about all the bad I've done in my life. I couldn't even put it into words. I couldn't. And since then, I made a lot of dua. I made a lot of dua to fix my business, because at that point we were generating so much revenue, but none of it was converting to profit because we had a lot of supply constraints. And after that Umrah, Allah opened things up for me. He eased it for me. We went through initially a period of hardship where my sales team collapsed, a lot of people left, but then the money started coming through, and that's what I wanted. And then I went for the next Umrah in Ramadan, so 6 months ago, and in that Umrah I knew Allah more. I still wasn't as connected as I am now, and after the first Umrah I started reading the Quran every day. I made it a habit, 2 pages of the Quran every single day. I was praying Fajr, I was praying Tahajjud, I was praying Fajr in the masjid. All these things that I wasn't doing before. Like before that first Umrah, I'd sleep past my alarm. I wouldn't prioritize any kind of morning routine. I just lived like on this freedom lifestyle, thinking that because I run a business, I can wake up at whatever time I want, I can do anything I want. I was shying away from discipline. I didn't have discipline. It's like I'd show up to the gym every day, but I would work out for like 20 to 30 minutes, and then the rest of the time I'd be typing on my phone trying to run my business. My diet was all over the place. I was just eating fast food and oven pizzas and freezer food and all these kind of things, and I just wasn't instilling discipline. But I thought I was so disciplined because I'd been disciplined before, because I'd been in good shape before. I thought that I could just maintain it, and I didn't even realize like how much I was destructing myself until I looked in the mirror and I saw my belly after Umrah, and after I saw my bald head. And once I was exposed to Allah, I realized like I'd been shying away from discipline for so long. And if we want any success, we have to be disciplined. It's like, imagine getting a success where you haven't built solid traits in the gym. You don't show up to the gym every day. You don't have a body that you want. No one gives you that respect. You don't want that. Imagine you don't have any control over your diet. You eat poorly nutritious food, where you're left sluggish all of the time. You can't pray to Allah properly. People don't respect you. You just got a big dull chin, greasy skin, everything. You don't want that. Imagine you can't wake up for your Fajr alarm. You can't start your day before the world. That's not a success worth having. And that's what I had to learn the hard way. That's why my blessings were blocked for so long, because I wasn't building discipline. I was only building business skills and nothing else. So after that Umrah, I've started really prioritizing my personal development again, because there's no success without that. There is no good success without that. I look at these crypto kids now. I know a couple personally from my hometown. I'm sure that what they do is haram as well. They just do pump and dumps, where they make a bunch of people buy the coin, they inflate the price, and then boom, they sell it. So they can take all of those people's money. It's all market manipulation. I know some guys that do that, and they've got a fat belly, and they've just got this like blonde bimbo girlfriend that they buy Rolexes for, and I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want that. That's not a success that I want. The success that I want is inspiring people. The success that I want is empowering people. The success that I want is becoming world leaders. We need to make the Ummah strong again. And this is something I never thought I'd say a year ago. And I want my success in this life and the Akhirah, but there has to be a level deeper than money. There has to be a level deeper than that. It's how good can you show up for everyone around you? How good can you show up for our religion? How good can you show up and transform the lives of other people because of the man that you become? That's what's important. So after that Umrah, 2 pages of Quran every single day, non-negotiable, actually soaking in the words of my Lord. My Arabic was so poor, I couldn't read it properly. When I had to read it last year in front of everyone, the Imam told me to read, I was stuttering everywhere. It was so embarrassing. And I thought, how am I going to learn again? Now I can read pretty fluently, and I've got a teacher now to help me with tajweed and stuff, alhamdulillah. So I prioritised the morning routine. I was sick of missing Fajr, so I initially started waking up at like 6 a.m. and Fajr at the masjid was like 6:30 or 7, so I'd wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. This was my grind mode now. I was running my business, but I was also looking after myself. I was going to the gym after Fajr in the morning. I was reading 2 pages of Quran, even 1 page if I couldn't read 2. Just making it a habit. I started building the right habits that will allow me to succeed, that will allow me to become successful for this life and the akhirah. Actually building myself up, and I managed to lose so much weight. I got so fat. I had no hair, so I had like really poor confidence. The barbers have messed my hair up this time. When I go to England, I'll get my barber to sort it. But I was building the right traits I needed to actually get on track, and the more that I focused on developing myself again, the risk opened up. I started making more money in the business. I stopped caring about like putting myself on this pedestal where just because I'm running a business I'm successful. And the more that I focused on building myself up as a man, everything else started to improve. My relationships in my life started to improve. My relationship with Allah started to improve, and I was able to become a better leader, make better decisions, and be a better man. Okay, when it came to rebuilding my sales team, I had to go out knocking with them. I had to go out to knock doors with them, and I put my ego to the side and made it happen. Then, when we were fixing supply constraints for the past year of deals that we did that we didn't get paid for, I humbled myself and went out knocking by myself to make sure that me and my team got paid. And this leads to the second Umrah, because I was building up all this personal development until then. Then Ramadan comes, and I'm coming to the second Umrah. I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life. I started making 10 to 15k a month, and I go to the second Umrah. I still don't know Allah like I do now, but that broke my heart, that Umrah. Like, that shattered my heart into pieces. Just the Umrah, the Tarawih, the Tahajjud, like with the Masjid al-Haram, and like, it's amazing. The best reciters in the world, and it touches your heart so much. The first Umrah I did in Ramadan, my intentions were all over the place, because I'd found this new identity in loving Islam, that like I wanted everyone to know that, oh, I'm here at the Masjid Haram, it looks so good, I'm gonna get this nice aesthetic picture with the Kaaba. And I felt like I did 2 Umrahs, because the first time I felt like my intentions were not in the right place. I was scattered. I was trying to appeal to other people, and I didn't have that same like broken-hearted feeling as I did when I first went a year ago. So I redid it, and then the second time I really opened up to Allah. And since then, I've not given up my personal development. I've seen the most growth in myself as a person ever in the past year, just by putting my habits before everything else. That month I made 15k a month, and I maybe worked 2 hours a day, and it's because of barakah. It's because I was putting my Lord first. It's because I spent money, time and effort, sacrificing time to come to Umrah, when I could have been working, when I could have been doing XYZ. This is what so many Muslims lack now. They're like, I can't go to this place, I can't do this, I can't put time to Allah, I can't even pray, or I can't pray in my workplace. Allah's never going to enrich you that way. Allah's never going to give you the blessings you're seeking when you can't put Him first. And this is a lesson I learned the hardest way. If we're not prioritizing ourselves, we're not prioritizing Allah, don't expect any blessings. Don't expect any rewards. Whatever money you make is cursed. Whatever success you get is rented. Unless you're building a man that success flows to. Because you're prioritizing what actually matters. So this Umrah, I was looking at the dua list I made for the previous Umrahs, and it was stupid. It was like, Ya Allah, help me make 20 million in the next year or 2, and it's just like such superficial duas. So even after the Ramadan one, even at the Ramadan one, I was still in that frame of thinking, but still on my personal development. But after that Ramadan, I started waking up at 4 a.m. every morning. In the summer, it came to the point where I kept missing Fajr because it was at like 3 a.m. and I'm not someone that can just wake up in the middle of the night. I need to just wake up once and go. So I made the commitment that I'm gonna sleep at 11, because that was the Isha time, and then wake up at 3 for a whole summer. I woke up, had 4 hours sleep, and just that built such character in me. Sometimes I'd get a nap in the day if I needed to. It's not healthy. Do I advise it for health? No. Was I 23 and had all the time in the world to sacrifice sleep and work on my business and work on my goals and work on my relationship with Allah? Yes. So sometimes you have to go through that sacrifice. That's a sacrifice that I was willing to make. So that taught me so much about myself. When I'd wake up and I'd be so tired, and I had to develop a morning process where I could beat the tiredness straight away. So 4 hours sleep, I'm waking up, the alarm goes off, I'm drinking a litre of water, then I'm getting into 50 push-ups, then sometimes I'm doing a cold shower, then I'm praying, I'm reading Quran, I'm going straight to the gym for cardio and soaking in the sunlight and the sunrise. That was one of the best few months of my life, those 3 months from June to August. Like, so much personal development, and fell in love with the process I've put into place. So that helped me get to know Allah a lot more, because it's through hardship that we find Allah. And the more of these things you put yourself through, when you're building yourself up as a man, you realise that success is so much more than money. And it's not so much about the business model, it's not so much about just finding this one shiny object or this one opportunity that's going to change your life. It's about becoming the man that opportunities flow to, and you can handle any opportunity that comes your way. When you focus on improving your speaking, when you focus on improving your relationship with Allah, when you focus on getting as strong and powerful in the gym, when you focus on becoming well connected, how you speak to people, when you focus on your focus, how long can you focus behind a laptop? And just all of these micro things, having a solid morning process, what you prioritize. These are the things that build you up to the point where you can succeed at anything. You can succeed at anything because you're prioritizing you. You're the commodity. You're the business. You don't need to be the businessman. You need to be the business man. You know, that's it. That's how we get truly rewarded in this life. And this time when I went for Umrah, I let my du'as come from my heart. I let them be more input focused. I was like, yeah, Allah, please give me the focus, give me the discipline to build a 7-figure business. Please give me because I had a 7-figure business with the sales agency, but none of the money really came to fruition because I wasn't the man that could get it. I was still putting the world over Allah. I forgot about my personal development. I became a bad leader. I became very sloppy. I used to snap at people. I just wasn't living up to my potential because I hadn't stepped into them. I thought I was a step above where I was. And we always want to be a step. We want to be shooting for more, but recognize where we are at a current moment. I can't say I'm this millionaire when I'm not acting like him, when I'm not holding myself to his standard, when I'm not putting myself through pain and discomfort through waking up at 4 a.m. every single day. It doesn't matter how much sleep I'm getting the work done, when I'm praying to Allah, when I want to or I don't, when I'm reading my Quran, whether I want to or I don't, when I say I want to move to Arab countries and I'm learning Arabic right now, and sometimes I feel like it's a burden on my day, but I do it anyway. These are the things that we need to focus on. Focus on the input. Focus on learning about business and implementing it. Focus on learning more about your industry and implementing it. Be that nerd that gets excited about things and obsessively learn about them. That's what I do. When I was in school, I'd always obsessively learn about the subjects that I was in, and I'd end up being the best at them, get A's and A stars. Everyone would call me obsessed, but I did not care because I was better. It's always about doing more. There's so much more that you can do in a day that you don't even realize, because you get distracted by your phone, you get distracted by TikTok, you get distracted by all of these things, and they're what sets you off course. They take you off course, and then you realize, then you're like, oh, how do people spend all this time building businesses and working and all these kind of things? Because they're not wasting time. There's a version of you, there's a version of me, there's a version of us all as a community that are out competing everybody, because we put value on our time, because we prioritize ourselves in the morning, we prioritize ourselves 5 times a day with Allah by breaking up our day and supplicating to Him and showing Him that He's the priority. And there's a version of us that is obsessively learning, obsessively grinding towards our goals, because you understand exactly who you are and exactly who you want to be. Now, in this Umrah, I realised if I want all of this success, it has to be on the back of my inputs. It has to be on the back of my disciplines. If I get up on my phone, a lot of my du'as came from the heart, but it'll still make some sense. So I did help me obtain a pure heart, replace arrogance for confidence and real strength instead of fake confidence, which is a projection of insecurity. Because basically my ihram kept getting dirty, and most of the umrahs that I did, my ihram would be dirty. And one of the sheikhs we listened to, he said that when you wear your ihram, it's a state of purity, shows that you've got a pure heart going into it. But when I heard that, I got worried, because I was like, well, that must mean there's a stain on my heart if my ihram keeps getting dirty. And I had to look inwards, and I was like, maybe it's arrogance, because I'm confident, I know exactly where I want to go, and sometimes I make that I think like, oh, I'm better than this person, or I'm above doing XYZ thing, and that's a stain on your heart. So now, one of the biggest focuses I went through in this Umrah was, Allah, please help me be who I think I am. Because if I see myself as like this millionaire, and I actually become him through my daily habits, through my daily inputs, then when I actually him, I'm not going to be, if someone tries to attack me, I'm not going to like shoot down whatever that feedback they have, because I know who I am. But it's when I'm trying to be someone that I'm not yet, and someone says like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and then I shut them down, and in my head I think, oh, I'm so much better than you, who are you to give me advice? That's arrogance, because you're projecting insecurity, you're projecting confidence in place of insecurity, because you know that you're not that guy yet. But when you start acting like that millionaire version of you, and you start holding yourself to a standard, you're better to the people around you, you rid yourself of the diseases of the heart, and Allah opens up that path for you to become him, because you're working on yourself. Islam's the highest level of self-development. I said, rid me of any more diseases of the heart, keeping me from you. Then massive bits about repentance. And then a big thing that I want to do now, obviously I want to build multi-million-dollar businesses, and obviously I want to build my personal brand. But one huge thing for me has been like, I want to be able to truly focus. I want to be exactly who I say I am. I want to be more creative. I want to express my true ideas and thoughts and concepts in my content and work. So because I've written that down, because that's what I've prayed for, rather than, Ya Allah, please give me $10 million. Like, He understands that He knows what I want. He knows what's in your heart. But because you're focusing on the things that are going to help you get there, He makes the path easier for you. I was like, give me ihsan, give me good akhlaq, give me good character, give me good excellence in everything that I do. Because when you start acting like that, you're going to get your goals anyway. You get your goals anyway. And one of the biggest things I realised I want to focus on is my life's mission beyond money. Because one of the biggest things I always think about is like, when I get the supercars, when I get the Lambos, when I get this freedom lifestyle, when's it gonna like get boring? When am I gonna get tired? There's only so many, like, whenever you get a shiny object, you think, oh, this is amazing, for like 2 weeks or sometimes a few days, and then it just becomes normal. So think about that in terms of Ferraris and Lambos and then Bugattis and Paganis and private jets. That's going to become your life. You're going to get used to it. What's your mission beyond that? Because right now, I look at the state of the world. I look at Palestine, I look at Sudan, I look at all of these countries, and I remember how 100 years ago, Muslims were united, Muslims were one, Muslims were strong, Muslims were capable, Muslims were powerful. And now, we don't have that. Now everyone's divided, everyone's fighting each other, everyone's killing each other, some people are siding with Israel. It's like, what the hell has happened, bro? What the hell has happened? So the only way that I can even make any impact in that is if I become as strong, rich, powerful, capable as possible, by holding myself to my standards every day, by becoming that man and building that excellence, by inspiring others, by building a strong network of like-minded brothers who can go and conquer. And this is another layer deeper that I've realised this Umrah, that our purpose has to be bigger than just money. Obviously we've got family and all these kind of things, but we have a life mission. Money we all get. When I went for dinner with this Russian millionaire in Dubai, he asked me what I want out of life, and I was like, oh, I want a Ferrari, I want a Lambo, blah blah blah. And he was like, you'll get that. What do you actually want? And this Umrah, I realised that's so true. Like I understood that point, but now I've really deeply internalized it, that we have to have a life mission that's bigger than the money. Because the money we get, the money comes, but who are we becoming today to help us serve towards that, to serve towards that goal? We know the world that we live in. We know that if we want to influence people, it's better that we pull up in a Ferrari and a nice suit with a nice Rolex and all these kind of things, Muslim or not Muslim. I want to be that guy that pops out with a Ferrari and people come up to him with a camera. Oh, what do you do, bro? Oh, bro, I just focus on Allah. I want everyone to know that Islam is the way that we become successful in this life and the Akhirah. I want us to be a strong, united nation again, where we build each other up instead of killing each other. and that only comes through our daily inputs and our daily efforts. So this is just pages and pages of me talking about the things that I want to focus on to get towards my 7, 8 figure, 9 figure goals, whatever. But the money is a means. The money is a means to an end in this world. The money isn't the final product. The money is a means to service our mission and who we become, and that's what I want. I want us to become a strong nation again. So for that we need money. For that we need to become the man who's capable of it. And you guys, if you follow me on like Instagram, you see my daily process. You see my daily work, how I'm focusing, my work blocks, everything that I split up to. I can make other videos on this, but for this video I just wanted to give my 2 cents about the Umrah trips over the past year, what I've been doing, and the realizations that I've come to. But like, we genuinely have so much potential when we stop conforming to the path that everyone else is on. Everyone else online is like, just follow my e-commerce strategy roadmap and you're gonna be successful. Like, yeah, that's one way, bro, but how are you gonna build an e-commerce business when you sit in front of your laptop and you can't focus? How are you gonna enjoy the fruits of your labor if you do build a successful business if you're fat and lazy and you can't see past your belly? How are you going to enjoy that if you can't wake up at 4 a.m. when that alarm goes off and you can't pray to Allah? How is that a fulfilling life? That's not a fulfilling life, and I know because I tasted it. I tasted it. This is the most fulfilled I've felt, even when right now I'm in a bit of like a financial haywire because I'm trying to move out of the country. I need to go back to the UK in 2 days, try and sell my car, and then flipping try to get out of the country again because I can't stay in that country. I want to live in Dubai. I want to be traveling to Mecca, Medina as often as possible. I like living in Saudi for a bit. I don't know, my life's in shambles, but I feel better now than I did when I was making more money, but I didn't know who I was. I didn't know Allah. I didn't know exactly my purpose. Adhan's going off. But yeah, we become more equipped to deal with all of our problems and all of our solutions when we have Allah, when we understand who we are. So help me become a multi-millionaire by your grace by developing all of these good habits, a solid offer with great outcomes to our clients. Help me set up in Dubai and have the freedom to base myself anywhere in the world and fly my people around. Help me move out of the UK and enter this growth chapter. Help me spend my wealth righteously. These are the things we need to focus on, okay? And everything else will flow towards in abundance, inshallah. But yeah, it's time to, well, let me practice my Arabic. Nusalli Salatul Asr. Me and brother Igor, who came to join me at the end. Nusalli is we pray, Salatul Asr, ila al-Masjid al-Haram. So we're gonna go pray Asr at the Masjid al-Haram. Hopefully you guys took some good value from this video. If you haven't already, check out my Instagram, links in the bio. See more of what I'm doing day to day. You can drop me a DM on there as well if you're interested in the program and anything of that sort, or if you want to speak with me one-on-one and see how we can start working towards this mission together. Dialing in our habits, dialing in our productivity, dialing in becoming that top 1% man where everything, all the money, all the success, all the benefits in this life flows to. Check the link in the bio as well, and we can book onto a one-on-one strategy call. But for now, I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.